Hello and welcome to not a reaction today, actually, but testing something new here today, like a podcasty thing. And with me today, I have Zachariah here from Blue Fire Horizon. They just released a album. I don't know, like yesterday or
Yep, yesterday.
yesterday. So yeah, reacted to one song that's actually on this channel. I've actually recorded a full album reaction too. Really cool album. But yeah, so the idea is just to sit and chat for a bit and maybe play a song for you.
Sounds like a plan to me. Thank you for having me on, and thanks for doing the review. It was a lot of kind words that you had to say, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, really cool. I love Diamonds to Dust, I think they're called, with Christian too.
Yes.
Really cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty close with Christian. He and I know each other just from being in the scene and all that. And when we first started, because Diamonds to Dust was around before we were, when we first started, people were starting comparing us to them. So I reached out to him like, hey man, people are comparing us to you guys. And I think that's really cool.
Ooh.
And ever since, he and I have just kind of been close and talked all the time and stuff. So yeah, when we were working on this song, we wanted to have one song that had like a double feature, because it's Christian from Diamonds to Dust, and it also has Chris Johnson from the band Hard Look on it as well. So like we wanted to do just a good heavy deathcore song with a couple of really good deathcore vocalists in it, and those two guys are both friends, so we brought them both on.
Yeah, there was a lot of variation in the album, for sure. A lot of different styles and stuff, and I love that when it's a lot of variation through the songs. The song with the piano and the calm in the beginning, then in the middle, and just switch it up, and I was like, what? That was so cool.
Yeah,
also love the explosive the one with the blech in the beginning. I was like,
Fading Memory.
Shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that one was written by our guitarist. Actually, I'm the main lyric writer. Generally, what happens is I know some guitar, so I kind of give our guitarist a little bit of an idea. Like, this is kind of what I'm thinking. I'm not a great guitarist, so I give him a very like baseline level of it, and then he takes it and runs with it and does his thing. But that one was written completely by our guitarist. And when he sent it to me, even with like some demo vocals and stuff, I was like, you know what this one needs? This needs a plan right at the beginning.
I know who would love that. Mr. Orion. I don't know if you know who Orion Rax is.
I do not.
He is obsessed with bless.
Okay.
And I'm usually watching his streams. He streams on Wednesdays. So I usually watch his stream, and you can like donate so he watches songs. So I'm probably gonna have that in there. He's like, he even have a clothing line. There is like just blech and stuff.
Nice.
So that's really cool. I was like, oh my god.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. But yeah, that song, that's probably my favorite actually. That was nice. That just got me. Holy shit! What that was an explosive intro.
Thank you. Yeah, we have a lot of different styles and influences on this album, and that's because there are four of us, and all of us come from different musical backgrounds.
Okay.
So I'm a big deathcore guy myself.
Yeah.
Our bassist is actually very much like a hard rock and hip hop person. So very different. Our drummer, he's the old man of the group. He's in his early 40s. So he grew up with like 90s death metal. That was a lot of his thing. And then our guitarist is like easy core, I guess you'd call it, like A Day to Remember and bands like that.
Okay.
That and all three of the other members of the band are classically trained jazz musicians.
Oh shit.
So if there's a lot of like progressive influences and different odd time signatures and rhythm changes and stuff, a lot of that is because of that jazz influence that they all trained as jazz musicians. So there's a lot of different influences, and I think that really helps us to have so many different things that we can pull from. And so everything kind of sticks to that core genre, deathcore, metalcore sounds, but there's a lot of other influences that we pull from to really vary our sound.
Okay. You can really tell that there is a lot of different styles throughout the album. Really cool. And it actually makes for a really interesting and cool sound overall. Like when you have a lot of different styles and people with different backgrounds and everything, it makes you like stand out a bit. Really cool.
That was the goal. You know, you don't want to be a band that sounds the same with every single song. That's a big thing that like Lorna Shore, people have been getting on them a lot lately because they sound fantastic, but then after you're 6 songs into an album, it's like, yeah, it's starting to get a little monotonous, guys. It's the same thing over and over.
Yeah, I mean, good vocals, then heavy as shit breakdown. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's what they do. They're phenomenal musicians, but yeah, it gets a little repetitive after a little bit.
Yeah. For like, I found the EP that was fantastic with To the Hellfire and Of the Abyss, and those were really good. And since it's just the 3 songs, it doesn't get too repetitive. But with the album now, it was like it gets, I mean, not every song is alike, and I really like the 3-part song at the end.
Yeah.
But a little bit repetitive.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm the big deathcore guy of the group. So Lorna Shore, I love them a lot, but yeah, even me as a big Lorna Shore lover got a little bit tired halfway through that album, you know. And a lot of people are like, how do you not have Lorna Shore as your album of the year in 2022? I'm like, it's up there in my top 10, 15, but I got a little bored halfway through.
Yeah. And my deathcore album of the year would probably actually be either Spite or Chosen with Enterprise Earth. Enterprise Earth Chosen was bloody fantastic.
That was phenomenal. Yeah. My deathcore album of the year was Carnage by K9.
Okay. I actually haven't heard that.
Oh man, it's like a slamming deathcore.
Okay.
A lot of slam influence in it, which that's so good.
Yeah. But yeah, do you have any other like favorite bands and stuff like that?
So we're a lot of the influence for me for my vocals, I love Memphis Mayfire so much to the point Maddie Mullins, their lead singer, I was going through a rough time in my life at one point. And their album Unconditional really kind of helped pull me back. And he was such an influence in my life. I named my own son after him. So that's, you know, they are a huge influence for me. Maddie Mullins, I grew up listening to him like, so if I could, I somewhat model my own vocals after him. I love being able to do the mix of the cleans and the harshes, you know? Other than that, in the last year or two, I've been really listening to more Lorna Shore, Slaughter to Prevail, Spite, bands like that, more heavy deathcore bands. And it's really kind of pushed me to get more into the heavy guttural, aggressive deathcore vocals sound, you know?
Yeah.
So, and like I said, as far as a band, I know our guitarist, he takes a lot of his influence from bands like A Day to Remember. A lot of his guitar work is me trying to push him more towards heavier, you know, guitar work. And I love his jazz influence. But are you familiar with the band Phineas?
No, I'm not.
Our guitar, they're like a progressive metalcore band.
Okay.
And I know our Hunter, our guitarist, absolutely loves Phineas. So if you listen to some of their riffs and some of our riffs, you'll hear kind of that, a little bit of a similar style, you know, with the technical guitar riffs and stuff. So that's a big influence on him as well.
All right. Yeah. I had a thought, but I lost it.
That's me. It's you think of something and then someone else starts talking and you're listening and then you just completely forget what you were going to say, what you were going to ask, and it's just like boop, gone. You know?
Oh yeah, it was about the background and stuff. Yeah, I didn't really start listening to the heavy stuff before like maybe 1.5 years ago. I started listening to some metalcore bands. I started listening to, and I believe the first was like In This Moment, then Parkway Drive. Then I worked my way up. Then I found Orion's stream and his Discord and everything. And then I started listening to deathcore, and I found Slaughter to Prevail, and then
yeah.
it was just okay. I'm hooked.
You're
And
hooked.
now, yeah, and now I'm just into like all the slam and all the craziness,
Oh yeah.
crazy breakdowns, the blurs. Just yes. But yeah, I listen to all metal. Pretty much.
I started back in like high school. I was listening to like pop music and
Yeah.
stuff that, you know, and right in middle or in like the middle of high school, I heard Hero by Skillet.
Oh,
You know, and
yeah.
I was like, what is this? This is amazing. I love this, the heavy guitars and stuff. And I don't know, it was like a progression from there where I started listening to slightly heavier, slightly heavier, slightly heavier. And over the course of the next 10 years following that, it just got heavier and heavier and heavier until now it's like, come on, give me the most brutal thing you got. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, in high school and stuff, I didn't listen to any metal at all. I didn't listen to anything. It was like hard rock and EDM. I listened to Avicii and Martin Garrix and all of that. And I used to think like, what the hell is this? Whenever I heard like someone listening to death metal, I was like, how can I listen to this? Now I'm this.
Yep. My own sister, I used to listen to like hard rock stuff like Skillet and 3 Days Grace and Breaking Benjamin and stuff. And she would tell me, she's like, just watch, you're eventually going to start listening to that screaming music. I'm like, no, I'm not. That's ridiculous. I'm not going to. Okay. Yeah, you were right, Lexi. I'm sorry. You were right.
It's funny how that happens. Just that transition is just crazy. Like EDM and then death metal. It's like, how far from that is each other?
Right.
Like, and then you have electrocore. That is really cool too. Like the Browning.
Yeah, right. I See Stars.
Yeah.
If you like electronic core, I'm gonna plug some friends of mine. They're no longer together, unfortunately, but they did put out a few albums.
Okay.
We Are Victory.
Okay.
That's a good electronic core band. You should check that out.
Okay. Well, for sure, check that out. What do you say? We Are Victory.
Yes. Yeah, there's some good friends of mine. They retired. They didn't break up. Their guitarist was just, he was older than the rest of the group, and he was the one that did all the writing and stuff. And he was in his 40s, had his family. He's like, you know what, I can't go traveling and touring all the time anymore, guys. I gotta call it quits, you know.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
So yeah, but they put out a couple of really solid albums. So
okay, yeah, we'll for sure check it out. I love finding new bands.
Me too.
My YouTube is like just these small bands with like 100 views and stuff like that. Like, just didn't usually get any like good recommendations by YouTube. Then I started to listening more and more, and like finding this underground bands, and now I'm just everywhere.
There are so many good underground bands out there that like people just don't know they exist. Everyone talks about the same like 15-20 bands and that's it.
Yeah,
but there are so many really good unknown bands out there, and I'm always trying to get out and find those bands because, you know, it's always nice to find more music and support some guys that, you know, deserve it.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. That's kind of what I wanted to do with the channel now for a bit. I mean, I reacted to Enterprise Earth and like some of the bigger band songs for sure I will react to, but I kind of want to like give light to the smaller bands, underrated bands. Like I did a reaction yesterday to Tyrantula. They released a new song, so they also are heavily underrated. Like I don't know what the channel is called. Slam Worldwide. They also
Yep.
put out
Yep.
quite a bunch of good bands too.
Oh yeah. I've had a few friends of mine who are in bands and got their stuff on Slam Worldwide. It's a great channel. So
Yeah,
if you're, yeah, go follow that channel too, because they do a lot for the underground scene.
yeah. They usually have so good music. I think I found Gore Pig through there. I don't know. Have you heard Gore Pig?
I have. Yep.
Have you heard the latest single?
I have not.
Oh my god, you gotta hear it. The fucking intro is Peppa Pig.
All right.
It's
All right.
just ridiculous.
I'll go for it.
uh, but yeah. Was this your first like studio album, or have you released more albums before this?
So this is our first full-length album.
Okay.
Back in 2020, our introduction as a band, we released the Down with Leviathan EP, which had 5 songs on it.
Yeah.
So we released that, and then over the last 2 years, we've slowly released a few of the singles off of this album.
Okay.
So just to keep releasing stuff, it's taken us about 2.5 years to write and finally release this album. So yeah, over the last couple of years, we've released a couple singles off of it. All of those have been remixed and mastered to go onto this album. So
Okay.
in my opinion, they sound better on the album than the singles did. But yeah, so we do have the Down with Leviathan EP as well, but this is our first full-length album.
What is kind of the process when you do like a song? What do you do first? Do you like start with making a sound, then like do lyrics for that sound, or do you start with the lyrics and then do sound for the lyrics?
It really depends on the song. I'd say about half the time it started with our guitarist just simply messing around, playing something on his guitar and going, oh, that sounds cool. Let's do something with that, and just kind of building the song off that riff. A few songs, like if there's some things that are really important to me that I want to write about, we'll write those first. The song Where Agony Ends off the album is really close to my heart because that's the story of my own battle with depression and suicide attempt. So that was a really important one to me. So that one, the lyrics all came first, straight from me, So like some of them, we wrote the lyrics first and then wrote music to match. Others, it was writing the music first. And, we just kind of go with where the music or the lyrics kind of take us and write from there.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. That it just happens like that. Really, really cool. Now I'm really lost.
You don't know what to ask now?
No. I'm just like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah, it's the first time. You'll get used to it. Yeah. The process of writing this album, it was a really good learning experience for us. From start to finish, being the first full-length album, and the lineup of the band is completely changed from when we released that EP.
Okay.
I'm the only member of the original 4 left.
Oh shit.
So the entire lineup has changed since then. No hard feelings towards anyone that was with the band before or anything, but people move on, things change,
Yeah.
So this album was the first album that was written by this group.
Okay.
So I did all the vocals on the original one, but the original EP was all written by our former guitarist. And so we were a little bit concerned even that people had heard the EP, and then this album it's the same genre, same that metalcore genre, but a lot of different influences and a lot of different sounds. And we did have some concern, how it would be received because it's different than what we had done before. But it's been amazing. Everybody's been great. All the feedback has been great, or most of the feedback. Of course, there's always those handful of people that are like, I don't like the screaming music, but you're always going to have that. But it's been very well received. And, that this process of raising funds to be able to afford it, because we're not good at mixing our own music. We're not going to mix our own music, and we want to make sure that it sounds good. But that means paying, the big money to have someone good mix and master it. So a shout out to Clay Carmody for mixing and mastering the album. If anyone is writing your own music, hit him up because he does a great job mixing. But yeah, and just the process of writing it and trying to keep everybody involved, because toward the end of it, a lot of it became our guitarist and I writing it and then saying, here, bassist Maddie and Rock, the drummer, here you go, do something with this, rather than trying to make it a group effort. And so like a lot of it is learning to work together and, you know, get along. We had our fights, we had our moments where we did not like each other, you know.
Yeah, but that's gonna happen. I mean,
Yep.
when you
But
spend so much time together, it's bound to happen.
yeah, yep. So, but in the end, it all came together and we learned so much about the process of writing it. And, you know, going forward, we know, okay, here are the 10 different ways that we screwed up trying to make this album. And here's how we can improve it going forward. The album wasn't even released yet. And we have like a list of things like, okay, this is what we're going to do in the future to make sure that it goes more smoothly next time, you know? So it was a learning process for all of us, you know, a lot of ways that even listening to it ourselves, we're like, we could improve this, and this could sound better, and this could sound better. So I look forward to seeing what we can come up with and do in the future, because just listening to this album, we all know, hey, these are the ways that we can improve on these things in the future, you know, and I can't wait to see what we can come up with and improve on to make better music down the line.
Yeah, for sure. Is it hard to like choose which song that goes where in the album? Like which to begin with and then like which to end the album with and stuff like that? How to
Not really.
Okay.
It kind of just all fell together for us. I don't really know how to describe it. It all just kind of came together perfectly for us, you know. A lot of it is because I wrote the lyrics, and a lot of it is my own life story, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of it was just going down that story and all of that. So it all fell together and came together perfect for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what's next? Are you going to tour or do some shows?
We don't play a ton of live shows. We play maybe a half dozen a year. Our bassist lives in Oklahoma, which I know you're not from the US, but it's about a 16-hour drive from here to Oklahoma. So she did live in the area up until about a year ago. She finished college and got a job in Oklahoma and moved on that way. So she makes the big shows, like the big festivals and stuff that we're able to play, you know, because then it's worth it for her to come. Then our guitar or our drummer works in a hospital and has a really wacky work schedule that's kind of hard to work around. And our guitarist, he's actually in another project that he plays with, like an acoustic band.
Okay.
And they play a ton of shows in like local bars and stuff, and he makes good money doing that. We're not at the point where we make a ton of money off of this band. So in the end, he's got to provide for his family and he's got to play the shows that pay him the money, you know? So he plays more shows with them that take up his time doing that. And I know that eventually he wants this to be his main project, but until we are actually, you know, making that kind of money, he's got to go where the money is, you know, it makes sense. So, you know, we play half dozen shows a year or so. We're looking to try to travel a lot more this summer. You know, try to get booked in some more festivals and maybe do some more, you know, 1 week string of shows here and there to try to get out more and play a little bit more. But we don't do a ton of touring or a ton of live shows right now.
Yeah, have to be really expensive for like a smaller band to like tour and stuff like that. All the transportation and everything is just crazy. I know I was at Cabal played here in Sweden last year, and I was and saw them. So I talked with Andreas there quite a bit at the merch booth, and he said that also like merch and vinyls and stuff is what keeps us alive pretty much. It's like crazy the costs and everything to like be there. It's wow. But
it's tough, definitely. Yeah, the merch sales is what drives things and keeps it going, you know. It's it's tough out there, you know.
Yeah, I always try to like when I'm at shows, and I always try to like buy some merch and just have fun, you know.
Well, yeah, the merch you buy at shows is just it's more fun to buy it at the show,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
'Cause then you can be like, yeah, I got the shirt when I saw them, not just I bought it off their website online or whatever, you know. Which if anyone wants to buy a t-shirt online, we have a website with t-shirts, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's I was gonna say something and now gone out of my head.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. So what I was gonna say, it's especially tough for us because we're a completely independent band. We aren't signed to a record label. We don't have a promotional company or a booking agency doing anything for us. Any of the shows that we book are literally me at my computer, emailing venues, emailing festivals, putting in applications, trying to get us on shows and on festivals and stuff. So we don't have it's just the four of us and that's it, you know.
Oh shit.
We do everything ourselves. We, you know, don't have a record label. We've gotten a couple offers from record labels here and there, but it's never really been the right deal, you know.
Yeah.
And we all agreed that unless a record label comes along and blows us away with an offer, we'd rather stay independent, you know.
Yeah. I mean, sure, it has its benefits to be signed, but at the same time, there's like always some strings attached. Like you have to do this and this and this and this.
Oh yeah. A lot of it is it's a trade-off. You know, you've got a record label that has a lot more pull and a lot more ability to get your music in front of more people. But at the same time, they're going to take 60-70% of your profits, you know? So yeah, it's tough.
All right. Well, I just got a message that I just have 10 minutes left.
Yep.
Stupid pro.
Yep.
But yeah, should we maybe put on a song from the album here? Let's see here.
Go ahead.
Let's see here. Yeah. Let's actually take.
If you want my recommendation, I really like the song On My Own. That's one of my favorites.
Okay. Let's see here. On My Own, there it is. Just a ad first, so YouTube always puts ads. That's especially fun when you do album reactions.
Oh yeah. On My Own is one of my favorites because I just recently learned how to actually harmonize my clean vocals, and this is the first song that we recorded that actually has harmonies on it, which is
okay.
You know, it makes it fun.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Super cool sound. Fucking love this. Oh, love the build up with the drums too.
Our drummer's amazing, isn't he?
I love that, like the verses when you like do cleans, then or just then like put them together like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, we like doing that mix of the clean and the heavy. The cleans and the more melodic parts just make the heavy parts sound even heavier, you know?
Yeah. And then the chunky bits too.
Yeah.
Mm. Super cool when everything goes silent and then just guitar.
Yeah, I love how that, and then it comes back in with the chug. It's great.
Builds a little bit of suspense too.
Oh yeah.
Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, our guitarist is really good at writing those cool build-up parts and stuff.
Really love this chorus. So good.
Yeah, it's got a good melody to it, which I guess that's bias of me to say because I wrote it.
Really cool the small synths too.
Yeah. we when we were writing that, my guitarist and I were both sitting there writing it. We were really trying to go for that like really symphonic and heavy breakdown, and we were really trying to emulate a lot of like Fit for a King does that a lot with the really good really heavy breakdowns with a lot of symphonic elements behind them, like the breakdown in Tower of Pain from Fit for a King, if you're familiar with that one. Yeah, so that's kind of what we were going for there, was that really heavy breakdown sound, but with a lot of those cool melodic strings and stuff.
That's really cool. I love that in metal. But yeah, overall, it's a really, really good album and an awesome way to kick off 2023. That's for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, we've had a ton of people that are like, "Oh yeah, it's the album of the year so far." Yeah, thanks. It's so far.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Like, yeah, it's 7th January. Woohoo!
And I'll take it. I mean, that's something, you know.
Well,
I'll take it.
It is album of the year so far. That's for damn sure.
We'll see
really,
how we
really
feel
good.
come like December.
Yeah.
Album of the year, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for hanging out here and chatting with me. Been really fun to getting some insight in to the production and everything.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.